Hello, 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 everyone. So excited to do this webinar now with you. Knolly, you are right on time. My gosh, like a Swiss clock.
What was this a nail biter or what? I just jumped off of you know how it is from one to another. Yeah. Man, I'm excited about this. This
It
is
was a
really
nail
good news.
biter. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I apologize, but this is something that I've got my notebook here because I'm a student of Christoph as well. I love his training, his teaching, and I love the company. You guys know that when I jump back in the game, just been a couple of months so far, I decided that I wanted to get the best data possible, and that's where Christoph and I connected. I researched everything that was out there, and by far, Land Voice had the best. And so I'm actually a student here, man. So I'm excited. I'm super excited to be back in class with you.
Well, we
We're
had a
gonna have
webinar,
fun.
I think 2 weeks ago, right?
Yep.
And we talked about FISBOs expired and so on.
Yep.
Today, we're gonna tackle something that everybody has been asking us for. We all know that we have been some tough years, in the past couple of years for a lot of people. And that
Mhm.
created a need for a lot of people to, maybe they don't want to sell their home, but they know they have to. And today we're going to learn what we as realtors can do to help them and to
Let me
identify
just let me
this
let
need.
me share one thing real quick, Christoph, before you kick off, and I'm gonna
Sure.
mute my mic because I get excited about this topic. This is I love listing topics that are immune to the market. They're immune to the market. Doesn't matter if the market's up, down, there are always going to be distressed sellers that have to sell. And I just had to go get signatures from one yesterday. We're closing in 2 weeks, $14,400 commission. And the guy absolutely has to sell. He lost his job and he has no other way out. And we're helping people and we're making a lot of money while we do it. So I love this.
hmm Sometimes it's hard to say, right? We're making a lot of money, but that's what we do, and it's so much appreciated by them. In fact, if you help somebody through a difficult time, through a distressed time, and they come out on top, they're gonna be friends for life. They're gonna refer everybody, all the friends to you because you were there as the hero at the right time. So you know what? Let's jump right in. Everybody is on, I believe. We have still people joining, which is exciting. So, but we don't want to punish those who are early. We want to reward you and value your time. So here are a couple of housekeeping items. This webinar is different than some others that you may have done or attended. We want you actually to use your phone during this webinar. And don't worry, we're not going to ask you to make any calls or prospecting calls. We don't put you on the spot. No, the reason why you need your phone is because we have some free data lookups for you. But the only way we know what kind of data we should look up is if you text us certain zip codes. So I want you to write it from the get-go. Think about your top counties, your top zip codes, and when the time comes to text those, do it. Don't be shy. Don't think like, oh my gosh, they're gonna have my information. We have that anyway already because you registered for the webinar. But we want to help you get something out of this, whether or not you end up using LandVoice or not. We want you to get some free data lookup done for you. So make sure you have your phone ready. And then also, don't be shy to take screenshots or record. You don't have to do it secretly. We want you to do that actually, okay? So I will give you a download link that gives you even some scripts where you can download them, a book, 10 listings in 7 days. So a lot of value today because I believe that, and Nolly and I both believe that not only you as a realtor have to give value to your clients before you talk about what's in it for you. Also on this webinar, we want to give value first. Okay, so let's go into why we chose this topic. Nolly is right. They're always distressed homeowners. They have always been. I mean, I have been teaching this class, I think, for like 13 years now. However, in the last couple of years, we had such strong economic headwinds that we have a lot of people in distress, especially those that we focus on, distressed property owners. those are the ones that you as a real estate agent can help. There's not much you can do if somebody just misses credit card payments, right? And they're renting. That's not our forte. Our forte is to help people in distress with their mortgages, with their homes that they potentially will have to sell. And don't worry, we're not just going to talk about pre-foreclosures. There's a niche that you may not even have heard about. But first, we talk about what everybody already knows about pre-foreclosures. It's done right with some agents, and a lot of agents, unfortunately, do it wrong. So if you ever struggle with that, and if you wonder, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? What do the experts say? Well, today we're going to show you what you can do to do it right. Let's first look at the timeline for foreclosure. Okay, see right here in orange. And I don't want anybody to say, oh, that's different in my state or in my county. This is general. This is a webinar for the whole nation, so I have to keep it very general. But in general, you have 60 to 180 days when a property goes into pre-foreclosure from the day that somebody receives a notice of default before it goes to auction. During the time, the homeowner has basically three choices, right? They can pay whatever is missing in the mortgage payments, and then nothing will happen, right? That is dropped, and they're not a pre-foreclosure anymore. Second, they can seek out an agent and say, well, let's get my home sold, especially right now, when the home value is at the highest price. Or they can call a mortgage lender and say, can we do something about my mortgage, restructure my mortgage so I can actually keep my home. Some of them even do a reverse mortgage. But in the best case scenario, of course, we want them to be able to keep it. But the reality is, many of them say, you know what, there's no way. I tried that. I've been trying to hang on as long as I could. Help me. Okay. Now, if you're a stranger, they're not going to tell you that because they don't even they feel creeped out if you call and say, let me help you through your financial distress. First, you have to establish a relationship. And that's what this webinar is about. At what time can you establish a relationship? How early can you know about the distress? And how do you do that? How do you take that relationship to the next level and become their agent? Okay. So, first of all, this is a webinar I just did yesterday for an office, and they didn't have very many pre-foreclosures in my experience. In the last 90 days, they only had 338. But you know how excited those agents got when they found out what? To them, it was 338 more than they knew about. They never even looked, right? And now their eyes were open and said, oh my gosh, I have over 300 people that may be looking for an agent. And why do I say they are looking for an agent? Some of them intuitively, they say, I want to know the value of my home. So they call an agent they know. Hey, give me the exact amount what you think my home can sell for. Others get a letter from the bank, believe it or not. When they get they're in default, they get a letter of demand from the bank and say, you owe so and so much on your home. We recommend you seek out a real estate agent to see if you could sell your home. Okay, because it's actually less expensive for the bank to seek out the help of an agent than if they have to go through the whole process of foreclosure. Okay, so they were excited, 338, and then I told them, okay, in the Landverse platform, we actually can show you even more. We can show you 4,474 over the past year. You have access to everybody who ever was in distress in the past year. That's valuable information. And you have not only who it is, but the address, the phone numbers, everything. And then I told them in the last, yesterday and today, you had 75. And they thought, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I almost feel like, I missed the boat on that. And I said, you didn't. You didn't miss the boat because we will have another 75 tomorrow. Okay. So that is something that keeps on going. Now, but let's be a little bit more strategic and see what you have in your market. First of all, the reason why I have this sleeping guy here or this exhausted guy is imagine you say, I want to get to work. I want to call those pre-foreclosures. I want to establish a relationship. Well, what you have to do now is look up every single one from the county records, find their phone number, scrub the number against the do not call registry. That's step number two. Maybe you want to do an absentee owner lookup. Maybe the person doesn't even live in the home. You don't want to call on the renter. You want to call on the owner. And then you want to check on the MLS. Hey, is this property actually already active? You know? So a lot of steps to do. And that is not only physically exhausting, financially as well, because time is money and sometimes you buy phone numbers. I mean, I don't have to tell you, this is the wrong way. That's probably the old way, I would say, because I think 30 years ago, that's what agents used to do. There were no data providers really to give you that data. Today, there are data providers like Landvoice. We give you all of that on a silver platter. Okay. In Landvoice, it takes you less than 30 seconds to log into your platform, to click on pre-foreclosure, maybe select the time range and say, show me what I have. And in 30 seconds, you didn't spend any money, you didn't spend any time, only 30 seconds, and you have the list of all your pre-foreclosures in front of you. So my question to you is, how many pre-foreclosures do you have in your top two counties? Do you know that out of the top of your head? Those of you who are doing pre-foreclosure, they probably know. And some of you have no idea. So here is where your cell phone comes in. I give you a gift. We're going to do a absolute free pre-foreclosure lookup. We let you know exactly how many pre-foreclosures you have in your top 2 to 4 counties. And one of my favorite salespeople here is Chad. He has been with us for over 10 years and is an expert in data. Okay. And what he's going to do for you, if you text us to 801-872-9091, that goes directly to his phone, and you text your counties, he will do the lookup for you and he will call you back or text you back and let you know here's how many pre-foreclosures you have and give you some pointers. Okay. So make sure you do that. It doesn't cost you a penny. Value first, right? So how does it work with Landvoice if you're actually a paying client and say, you know what, I not only do I know how many there are, but who they are. So how does it work? I'm going to show you now a screenshot. It's a mock screenshot. You probably recognize that those names are completely fake. Billy Hargrove from, what is that from, Jake? What show? It's from one of the TV shows that my kids are watching. Then Luke Skywalker and Diane Prince, Wonder Woman. Okay, so all of those three actually are in pre-foreclosure. It shows me what date. It shows me the phone numbers. Look at this. The number is green. You know what that means? We already scrubbed against the do not call registry. The number is green because it's not on the do not call. The number in red here is on the do not call registry. Why is that important, guys? Is because you want to be TCPA compliant and avoid a fine that can bleed you dry. It's not worth it, believe me. Every phone number you call, you want to scrub against the DNC. Our algorithm actually puts the most accurate number that we in our algorithm determine as the most highest confidence number first. So if you're in a hurry and they say, oh my gosh, there are like 100 pre-foreclosures I want to call, don't go through all three numbers. The last number that might be a dependent or might be an old number. We don't know. We still give it to you. But dial the first numbers. Go quickly through it. Okay. And then later on, you can go back. But we also give you a sorting feature, how you can sort by zip code, by area, all of this kind of good stuff. Then we give you a option to download it if you want to put it into a label maker, for a postcard, or you want to put in your CRM. And if it's on your phone, guys, it's phenomenal. You can actually now eliminate a dialer. For those of you who say, I don't have money for a dialer and there are so many numbers to call, well, all you need is your phone and land voice. Okay. You simply tap the number, it dials it for you. It's 100% accurate because you don't have to manually dial it. And you can create tags and notes just like you do in a dialer, and they stay with that lead forever. And when you pull it up the next day, you can say tag, all of those hot leads or whatever, and they will come up. Okay. And if somebody's not interested, you cross them out.
Christoph, one of the things, if you go back a couple screens, one of the things I like best is the status that they're in. Are they list pendants? Are they,
Ah, yeah, right.
that status is so huge because it really tells me more or less sort of the cadence, the rhythm, and how to approach, like how am I going to approach that person? You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
love it. So good. And you even have ones that have already been auctioned, and usually I
Exactly.
don't I don't but it just kind of shows you the whole stage all the way through. And as those change stages, they're changing every day in my database here. So it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, I just found some, they were actually last week they were pre-foreclosure. And this week I looked them up again and it says bank owned. Wow, is that great information or what? Some of you actually, you should go to your banks and say, hey, let me be that agent who helps you sell those homes. Otherwise, the bank, they use their preferred agent. So much you can do with that information. Data is king. The agent with the best data always wins. Guys, if you don't have a data provider, if you try to do this on your own, you already know that you are not in the best spot. Okay. Oh, why did I show this slide, red ocean, blue ocean? This is what it's all about. Nobody likes to be in a red ocean with everybody else. Imagine you do everything what everybody else does in your area. You have not a certain niche. You just do the same thing, call the same people at the same time. That's when people get frustrated and hang up because they get like 50 phone calls in that same hour from agents because the county records just released the pre-foreclosures and it takes everybody like 5 hours to find the phone number in the afternoon. They get bombarded. Imagine you're in the blue ocean and you call before everybody else. And you don't even lose sweat because it's there for you. You didn't have to do any research. You're completely fresh and you have the energy because you didn't get bogged up with all that research and everything. So one of the big questions is, how's the data? Is it spot on? Is it hit and miss? How many listings can you get from pre-foreclosures? Is it something like where you have to call thousands and thousands just to get one listing? Well, luckily we have top agents in the country who have done all that for you. They checked it all out. We even got their scripts, and we're gonna share the scripts with you. Here's just one example of one agent who does exactly what we told her to do. Got the list from Landvoice, the platform, and she assembled a little team even to help her to call all the pre-foreclosures. Here's what she reported.
We are absolutely crushing it on Land Voice. The pre-foreclosure data is spot on. Our team in less than 3 weeks has 17 listings. I highly recommend it. We're getting ready to go through a shift. A lot of us are already in the shifting market and leveraging the pre-foreclosure data and getting back to things that worked 10 years ago in short sales has been super powerful for us. So highly recommend it.
She says it's so nonchalant, or 17 listings in less than 3 weeks. That's phenomenal. Some agents are so humble, but you get used to it. At the beginning, you're surprised and you wonder, did I do something illegal? How am I getting so many listings suddenly? Am I calling people that I'm not supposed to be calling? No, you will get used to it. You will get regular listing appointments. You can probably set one a day, at least as busy as you want to be. So I told you that she told us even the scripts, right? And she said, whatever you tell people at the webinars, don't tell them to do what they've always done. Like, oh, I'm so sorry that you're in financial distress. I know that I have a list that your home is going into foreclosure. Let me help you. That's my specialty. I help people like you. You know, yeah, your heart is in the right place, and that's great. Of course, we want to help people, but do we want to call them out and say you're in financial distress? You're a stranger. They don't know you, right? They may feel creeped out and say, who is this person? Please take me off your list. I don't want to have your help. Or then denial, right? So she said, I learned quickly that this script gets me rejections. I lose too many. Some of them will say yes, but most of them will say no. So I give you now a mindlessly simple script that works. Anybody can do it. And when you see it, you will say, duh, of course, that makes sense. So think of your pre-foreclosures like any other neighbor. Don't even think of them, they're in financial distress and treat them as such. And they will feel that they're being treated like everybody else. Hi, I'm actually a neighbor in your neighborhood and I'm a real estate agent. I'm calling everybody in the neighborhood right now because home prices are up. And I was wondering, I know your home isn't for sale right now, but have you ever thought about selling? Or if you offer the right price for your home, would you be willing to sell? That's a neighborhood search script because they just that day or maybe day before received the notice of default. They are already thinking the wheels have already started to kick in and say, how much is my home worth? I, I, I I think I have an idea, but I need to know. And suddenly you call and you say, for the right price, would you sell? They say, oh, perfect, perfect time. Yeah, you guys do CMAs, right? Can you include my home? I would like to know how much my home is worth. And you still don't say, oh, I know why you're asking that. You just say, sure, happy to do this. I can drop it off this afternoon or evening. I'm just in the process actually of doing some home value lookups in your area for other neighbors.
This is so timely for me, Christoph, because I'm so to the point. I want to tell them, hey, I know you're in foreclosure. I've been there before. I've been in foreclosure. Let me help you. And they're
Uh,
like, man, who is this guy? Like, how did you get my number?
yeah,
They're defensive.
that's right. Even
Yeah.
though I Knolly, and I know what you're saying, you mean it well,
Yeah.
right? But to them, it's you're right, you're a stranger. So that's why we have that script. Now, big question. What if you could predict the future and actually know who will be coming at pre-foreclosure before anybody else knows? Did you see that movie? I think that was number two of, or number three of Back to the Future. That's where the Biff in the present time meets the Biff in the past. And he has a sports almanac. And he said, dude, idiot, read this. It has all the results that are coming up. And first he threw it away, and then he actually picked it up again and started looking at it and started making the right moves, for his bets and became a millionaire. Okay, so what if you had an almanac that tells you who will be in pre-foreclosure in 30 days, in 60 days. And you establish a relationship with those people that nobody else has access to. And when the time comes that they get serious and say, I need to pick an agent, they already have a relationship with you. Now, this is the incredible good news to you guys. And this is what we said the big secret in this webinar. There is a crystal ball that tells you exactly who those people are. We always wanted to have that type of data. There was no way. And if we were guessing and trying to get it, it was still so inaccurate. Today, we can give you a crystal ball that tells you exactly who those people are and what they are in pre-foreclosure for. So before we showed this graph, I didn't show you this part. Before somebody goes in pre-foreclosure, there are certain occurrences that happen that gets them there. Okay. For a homeowner, it is missing mortgages. You miss the first mortgage payment, nothing really happens. The second mortgage payment, except you're getting nervous, right? And your family gets really nervous. Second mortgage payment happens, nothing happens. You know what happens at the third time? You get a letter of demand from the bank. In most states, it's the third time. Okay. Now they actually say, seek out an agent, try to sell your home. Here's how much you owe. You have to pay up, or you are going to get, it's going to be recorded to the, uh, reported to the county. You get a notice of default, list pendants. The fourth mortgage payment happens. Okay, now it gets serious. And now the time comes right here where we capture the pre-foreclosure data. The same minute it's filed in the county record and recorded online, we capture it, we give you the phone numbers. Now you have the data, which is amazing. We want you to have that because you need to know of those people who are 100% certain in pre-foreclosure. Now we give you also the data for the distressed homeowners. And that is a big secret, how you can be different than anybody else. Okay. So I will show you now what that looks like. And I'm getting so excited about this because in real estate and data, there's not much anymore, that surprises people. They have probably heard of everything, expired data, for sale by owner data, neighborhood search data. What? There is distressed homeowners before pre-foreclosure? Well,
Mhm.
LandVoice has it for you.
Powerful.
It's
Powerful. And
so
that's
powerful.
the best radar out there, I think. It's so good. So good.
There is a way I understand that you can get it yourself. It's just so time consuming. And you need a lot of relationships with a lot of banks and so on, financial institutions. It's a job within a job. In fact, let me tell this quick story. We had actually a top agent who specializes in pre-foreclosures call us, and he said, I recently compiled a list of 10,000 people who are heading towards pre-foreclosure. And I did it all manually. And we thought, oh my gosh, that must have taken you a lot of time. He said, and a lot of money. But I sent that list to a data provider, to actually our competition, to say, give me the phone numbers for those people. Out of 10,000, they found 4,900 phone numbers. And he said many of them were wrong, but he didn't expect much. So he was okay with that. But then he thought, I wonder if there's a provider that provides more numbers and better numbers. So he called us and said, do you guys do that? He said, well, not only do we give you the phone numbers, we could have spared you all the time of finding those people because we give you that on a silver platter. He said, can you at least take those 10,000, run it through your database? So we did that. And you know what we found? 9,540 phone records with phone numbers and up to three numbers per record. He was ecstatic. He said, what? You found 95%? And he said the numbers were spot on, especially the first number. It was phenomenal. He said the accuracy is just out of this world. So here's what it looks like. If you subscribe to distressed homeowners for your top zip codes, you will find them if you click on distressed in Land Voice. Then you have a thermometer, which with every single lead, you can see that. This one is all deep orange. You know what that means? They're probably 30 days away from pre-foreclosure. They missed most likely 4 or 5 mortgage payments. And if they don't pay up, which is very difficult to do for a lot of people, this would be, thousands of dollars, they will get an NOD. You can already call them, establish a relationship, treat them like a neighbor. This one right here has only one bar and probably has the first 1 or 2 mortgage payments that were missed. So you have a lot of intelligence right here. If you click on the street address, you'll see more. There's always more information we add all the time. So it's very, very complete. You can even see if the listing, if it's already listed with somebody or not. You click on maps, it shows you the picture. Very soon, we automatically include images with the homes for all of our lead sources. So that's what you get. And then you can scroll through and say, show me all the ones in that zip code and the other one and so on. We could deliver always batches of 500 because if you just ask us for, for 20 or so, our data providers that we work with, they wouldn't even move a finger. They said, no, no, this is pretty exclusive lookups. We need a bigger batch so that we can get a better price for you. Okay, so I want to do something for you for free. Okay, the data is not free, but the number is free. How many pre-foreclosures, how many distressed are in each of your zip codes right now? That will be moving towards pre-foreclosure. That's a big part of that crystal ball. You need to know, what is my area doing? So how many, will there be 100 or 40 in my zip code in a couple months? So we want to give you the answers to that for free. Text chat your top 2 to 4 zip codes. I know earlier you texted him counties, but now you want to text him zip codes. 2 to 4 zip codes. I would say actually more like 4, okay? Because sometimes there are only like 20 distressed in a zip code, and then others there are maybe 200, 300, 500. So you want to have that intelligence, and the more zip codes you text him, the more intelligent you will be. So 801-872-9091. Now, some of you are already asking, what's the price on that? And this is a great question, and I'm going to tell you very openly the answer. Um, Before we started doing this, we noticed that there are some companies, they are taking a little bit advantage of you. Okay, they're charging $30 to $40 for one exclusive distressed homeowner. $30 to $40, and then people buy like three or four, call them, and hopefully develop one relationship. And you say, yeah, it was totally worth it. I only paid like a couple of $100 for 5 leads and got one out of this. Yeah, it's worth it. But did you know that there is one provider that actually charges $4 per record? And we thought, oh my gosh, let's see what we can do. So we were acquired 2 years ago by $1 billion company with a lot of resources, and they put a lot of resources into Landvoice and say, we want to make sure you have the absolute best data provider, the same like law enforcement uses, detectives, attorneys. We just want to be the best of the best. So we give you now better data than even that $4 per distressed homeowner company, and with a much higher accuracy. Okay, and we want to save you money. So here's what Landvoice does. Each exclusive record, because those are exclusive, if you get all the data for one zip code, nobody else gets it for those last 30 days. It's very exclusive. Okay, we do it instead of $4 a person, $2. That's incredible, right? You have to come up with enough resources to get 500. So that's basically only $1,000 instead of paying, tens of thousands of dollars, or at least, $8,000, like we have seen with some companies for a list like that. So for only $1,000, you get 500 lookups. That's $2 a pop. That's the answer for that. Okay, but the lookup we do right now for you is free. Okay, that how many distress we have. Now I want to change gears right now, because the distressed homeowners is an add-on. You can always add that on to Landvoice, but you should not miss out on having our Pro bundle. It includes pre-foreclosures, like we mentioned earlier. That is part of it. It also includes expireds. We know that 78% list with the first agent that calls. You definitely want to have those records and those phone numbers first. Landvoice gives it to you. Just looks like distressed, but now you click on expireds and they give you all the data every single day, without fail, even Saturday and Sunday, every day. You can do tags, notes, and treat it like you treat the distressed list. You can even export it into your CRM. And then you can select what type of expires, withdrawn, canceled, and so on. We give you also for sale by owners. And I call them fastest source of business opportunity. That is something that comes with Landvoice. You don't even pay extra. It's just part of that bundle. 80% will list with an agent. You will get additional listings with that. And that's easy. That's now business. It's not like a distressed. You work with them for, to build a relationship for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two. For sale by owners and expireds, they need somebody right now. Don't make the mistake to be your own researcher. That doesn't work anymore. It worked like 30 years ago, but today that's old school. So we give you all the data. That's an easy way. We want to do a free lookup for you and tell you how many you have actually. And you may say, no, I know exactly. I just go to Zillow and I can see there are 20 right now in the last 30 days. Well, did you know that we grab for sale by owners from 1,300 different sources? We do that lookup while you're asleep. By midnight, we actually put the data into your account. When you wake up, it's done for you. So text your top counties to chat 801-872-9091. If you already did that, you don't need to do this again, because he will do the pre-foreclosure lookup at the same time like your for sale by owner lookup. And it works the same way like everything else. You even see the ad. So that is different. You can have now the ad for the for sale by owner in Landvoice. And we throw in geographic farming with Landvoice, which gives you access to 3,000 neighborhood search lookups every single month. So you can circle prospect around your listings. Listings have babies. You will get more listings like that. Even if you have maybe a certain area that you say, I want to break into this neighborhood. Well, circle that neighborhood. And when it closes, you have the names, the addresses, every information about the home, household income, net worth. Right now, we're launching actually a new version of neighborhood search that includes even the image for them. So now you have 3,000 images with all the neighbors' homes and everything. Data is king, like I said earlier, and that makes it so complete. So if you're a new agent, make sure you select a neighborhood with a 6% or higher turnover rate. Don't go into neighborhoods that have like a 2% turnover. When the next neighborhood, one zip code over could make you a lot more money because more people are selling. And start with 500 homes. You will have now 30 homeowners out of 500 with 6%. That will sell, guaranteed. They will sell the home within a year. That's what statistics do for us. They let us know what's going on in a neighborhood. Take advantage of that. We help you. We have trainers and they show you exactly how to do. We don't charge for that. So now you got all of this for the Pro bundle at an amazing value. Okay, I already told you the pricing for distressed, right? It's only $1,000, one-time fee. There's no monthly rollover, and you get 500 records. If you want it again in the future, we even give you a big break, and you get it for 500 the next time. Only $1 per record. So that's a no-brainer. It's a very inexpensive lead source with high returns. We also want you to have the scripts. You download them at landvoice.com/free downloads. And right now, there should not be a single one not doing this because, hey, when we give away free scripts, that's like giving away candies to kids, right? This is something that you're going to get excited about once you see them. So make sure you download that. Hopefully, you can remember that or take a screenshot. And here's what we give you with a Pro bundle. We give you the expireds, the for sale by owners, the pre-foreclosures that we just mentioned so much in this webinar, and neighborhood search all in one place. You could easily spend, probably $4,000 or $5,000 if you buy it separately from other companies. But with Landvoice, you save a lot. And how good the data is, I'm going to share with you now in a short video. Just especially the first one. It's an agent that tried everything else, all the other competitors, and here's what they tell you.
So I just wanted to give my highest testimonial and highest level of recommendation to Landvoice Data Services. They're quite simply the best data service provider and for the best prices. I've been an agent for 12 years. I've cold called for about 8 of them aggressively, at least 4 hours a day. I've used every single service provider out there. I've used Vulcan 7. I've used Expresso Agent. I've used Cole Realty. I've used the Red X. And I can tell you without a doubt that the best numbers for the best price is Landvoice.
Also, the data that we are getting and the quality of it is just second to none right now.
Landvoice works.
So that's why we choose to work with Landvoice. They work for me in 90 plus cities. I think they'll work for you.
So these top agents, they're crushing it, right? And that's always what happens when you partner with the right data provider, But you could spend a lot of money, like Vulcan 7 charges like $35.90 for expired FISBOs, pre-foreclosures, and neighborhood search. The closest one to us in pricing is Espresso Agent, $28.30. And the data quality is pretty good. Also, is Vulcan 7. But the data quality of Landvoice is even higher and yet at half of the price of our closest competitor. Why is that? Well, the same reason why we can give you distressed homeowners for only $2 instead of $4 or $30. Because our company that owns Landvoice put the resources behind us that we can give you the best price and we can give you the best data. And that's how we capture market share and keep our clients happy, right? And that's why our clients are with us for years and years and years, because you will not get a better deal and not better data. Now, for this webinar, we want to do something special. We have a flash sale for you. What a flash sale means is basically it goes away, right? So right now is what we can do for you today. Instead of you paying $14.97, which is already a phenomenal price, we take another $500 off and we give it to you for $9.97, one-time fee for the whole year. And what some companies do is they give you a great entry price, and then next year when it rolls over, you pay full price. Not so with Landvoice. This flash sale actually guarantees that you have that rate for life. Okay, isn't that great? If you do the math, $9.97 divided by 12, it's $83. So you have like, and that's divided by 30 and something. It's less than $3 a day, less than a cup of coffee to get you a listing appointment, at least one every day, if that's what you are going after, right? You just need to make enough calls or send text messages out.
I've said it before too. I would pay 9.97 a month for Land Boys. There's no question about it.
Uh,
There's no way I would not have it, especially with the type of schedule that I like to keep. It doesn't cut my time in half. It's like 90% of my time is cut from just having the right data right where I need it, right there. So, and I don't have to pay a bunch of VAs or a lot of people or do it myself.
mhm.
I would easily pay 1,000 a month because think about that. It'd be 12 grand a year. I've got one closing in 2 weeks. That's 14,400 bucks. So, 997 a year. And I had no idea you would lock it in for life. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
know you're all about efficiency. When I asked you, what's your big thing, and you say efficiency, right? So hopefully that's for all of you as well, because we all have families, we have um, uh, commitments and so on. And we got into real estate because we value our time. We didn't want to be working through weekends and everything and do research on top of everything else. You want to have free up your time and be on listing appointments instead of being behind the computer screen all day, right? So yeah, you're right, Nolly. It is definitely worth 997 a month, but this is a year. So um, not only that, I went a little crazy. Okay, I thought, okay, some of you maybe want more than just two counties, and those are expensive if you want to add it. It would be adding another $200 actually just for extra counties. So I'm gonna throw in two extra counties for free. In other words, we are doubling the data that you're getting because normally with LandVoice you get two counties. With that deal, you get four. Double the data. Guys, this is insane. Now we could actually easily charge 1697, which is still lower than the next closest competitor, but you still only are at 997. Now I do have to the caveat is it's limited to 8 agents. Okay, that's the only thing I cannot give double the counties to everybody. But we got permission to do it for the first 8. So if you didn't text already, maybe now is the time that you want to do that. Chat will is very fair. Okay, so he'll number that in the order as received. The rest of you beyond 8, you still get the pro bundle for 997. But you get two counties instead of four. So it's whoever he reaches first. Okay, so he will call back whoever. If you don't answer your phone, then you miss out. Okay, so make sure you answer your phone when he calls back or text him back. Okay, so let me see. Okay, that is the end of my PowerPoint. I hope you got the number down. Maybe chat. You are actually on the call. Can you maybe put it in the chat box? Chat will put it in the chat box. That's a fun one. And make sure that you have that number there. So Nolly, thank you so much for having been on there. What do you think?
Man, it's phenomenal.
Thoughts?
This is something that, and in fact, once we jump off this time together, the first thing I'm going to do is jump on my Land Voice account and get to work.
Mhm.
It's to me, it's refreshing. I'm back in the game, back in the business. I prayed about it and asked the Lord. I'm back in Texas, and I was like, I'm doing well. I don't have to sell, so I'm like, okay, let me just chill. And I got a number of deals that came in a quick amount of time. So I said, you know what, God wants me back in the game. It's fun. I love doing it. And so but the time savings, man, is just out of this world, and the accuracy is out of this world. Plus, I really like the scripts. I like how you go about when you're getting back in the game after having really been away for 10 years, you've got to have a fresh approach, right? And for those of you that are getting back in the game, maybe you're new to real estate, or maybe even you've been in the game a while, but it's time for a fresh approach. It's time for a remix, a refresh. This is it. This is it, man. And it's like when we say, making real estate fun again. Now I'm actually giddy because I get up, I see the data, and the everything's fresh. It's exciting. So I love it. I love it. I'm 100% on board. And I'm glad you're doing this, man. A lot of times people have the idea that, if I bring someone on, um, I must be making a ton of money through affiliate. Yeah, you guys are an affiliate of mine, but there really is not a lot of wiggle room in that pricing, guys, for me. And when Christoph and I talked about it, yeah, we could make this, 1,500 a month, and then I get, X amount. I said, no, just pass that savings on. Pay me a little bit, but pass that savings on to my people, to my tribe, and let them benefit from these ridiculously crazy prices. So I appreciate you doing this, Christoph. Thank
Sure.
you.
You know what, and
Thank
I
you,
have to
man.
tell you in all disclosure, there is actually no lower price. So, we have Black Friday, right, which is coming up. Unfortunately, too soon. I don't want summer to be over,
Yeah.
but there is no better price at Black Friday or Christmas or end of the year. This is really it. So we pulled out all the stops for you guys. But why are we
Yeah.
doing this? First of all, when I acquire somebody to land voice and help them to be a better agent and get more listings. I want to feel good about myself. I don't want to feel like, oh, I just, could have done this a better deal or could help this person out. They're struggling financially and investing the last money into land voice. I don't want to have that regrets or that feeling, that I'm not a helpful, honest business person. And what we're doing right now for you is it's all in your favor. Okay, let's put it this way. We really put out all the stops. So thank you so much, Knolly, for coming from the heart. I know that the relationship we have with you is phenomenal because we know that you treat people the way they need to be treated.
Amen.
And we're the same way, and we're completely aligned in that. And we all come from the same place. We want to help agents get more listings. So not only do we give you the data, but just reach out to us if you need help with objection handling, with scripts, with training. Knolly has a library and a database that he's happy to help you with. We have it for you. The main thing is let's not have a year like last year. A lot of agents, 71% didn't sell a single home last year.
Mm.
And now interest rates have not gone down as people expected, and they thought, oh, maybe 2025 is going to be a great year. We are already seeing a similar trend that a lot of agents are not moving very much.
Yeah.
Okay. And today we give you some tools and some proven strategies, a blueprint, how you can actually finish this year strong, even if you had a rough start. Okay. So don't be like, some the dinosaurs who get left behind, right? When the
Yeah.
when the problems came, take action and make sure that you get the data into your hands, or at least have a phone call with us and see what we can do for you. For those of you who say, I cannot afford something annually, let's talk. We can do something for you that might work for you. Although the biggest savings is definitely if you do the 997 upfront. And don't worry, it's an investment, it's not a expense. So that
Yeah, I
will,
want to. Yeah. I want to thank you, Christoph, for. I know you had a little incident this week, and you're recovering, right?
you're right.
Uh,
I
yeah.
had I shot a nail into my finger. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. And you had surgery a couple days ago?
Uh-huh. I'm
Oh
stitched
goodness.
up.
Goodness, man, so sorry to hear that. But
Thank you.
Christoph and I were connecting back and forth. We're like, hey, should we postpone the webinar? I was like, nah, don't worry about it. Let's just do it. It was short notice, but I thank each and every one of you for being here because we shattered the numbers even from our last webinar where we had lots of notice to promote it. So thank y'all for being here. And yeah, I mean, I've got 3 listings going on the market today, and I could not do what I do without Land Voice. So I'm excited to bring this to my tribe. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much, everybody. Let's see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. Goodbye.
Love it.